Alright, my lord, I think we're going to do the same thing that we did yesterday. Where I'm just talking to you. I'm not going to talk to the camera itself or anyone watching. Why? Because I want to gain my prophet experience. Prophets talk to God, yeah? So... Oh, I'm sorry. Prophets, they talk to God and God talks to prophets. So I'm just gonna... I had a lot of fun yesterday when we did that whole false profiteering thing. So I woke up this morning and I wanted to do it again. Well, I mean, you put it in my head to do it again. Because I wanted to talk to you about what I saw in the Quran this morning. What I saw was a very clear and direct message to those people who specifically observe the Torah, the Gospel, and the Tanakh at the same time, which was really interesting to me because those people who claim to be Muslims, I'm pretty sure that they have an agreement that the Torah is bad, or at least the Tanakh is bad. I don't really know. I know that some people who study the Torah say that the Tanakh is bad, or that the Quran is bad. I know that the Christians, they love to say that the Quran is bad. And they also love to mispronounce Tanakh. I didn't say the Old Testament, I said the Tanakh. I don't study the fucking Old Testament. A lawnmower. Hold on. How you doing, my friend? You good? Good, man. That's my boy. I fucking hate that. I was talking to a priest. I explained to him, I'm a Jew, and I studied Torah. Oh, you studied the Old Testament? No, I didn't say the fucking Old Testament. You know, it's a hair-splitting difference. It's a hair-splitting difference, but it makes a difference. It shouldn't make a difference. Yeah, it should make a difference. It should. Because there's a big fucking difference. One of them doesn't have a part 2. And because it doesn't have a part 2, it reads differently. You know, I went to church with my mother. I was gonna get really religious. This is turning into a religious channel. I guess so. I'm not religious though. I'm in absolutely no way religious. Except, who am I talking to? I feel like I was just yelling at somebody. What an asshole. I don't know, that person just pissed me off. For driving. We know what it is, chap. You know what it is, Lord? I just think I do everything better than everybody else. I think I'm better than everybody else. I think I'm smarter than everybody else. I think everyone's beneath me. And the fucked up thing is, I don't think I'm wrong doing that. I don't think I should feel bad. What? Can you help me? Can you help me clear up my head? Because I got myself a little worked up right there. Hate religion. I hate religion. That's it. I hate religion. I hate religious people. I think they all stole the books. They all manipulate the system, especially the higher ups in each of the religions. They all manipulated the books to say what they want them to say. Because you know what was pissing me off this morning? After I read that, that part in the Quran about the people who believe in all the books, it says you love them, but they hate you. They hate you because you believe in all of them. It's true. That's all they do is they talk shit about me. I had that one jerk off. You're Catholic. What are you talking about? I'm the furthest thing from a Catholic. I don't worship Jesus. I don't believe that you made yourself into human form. If Jesus is God, then so am I. How about that? Right? All right, let's... How do you want to do this today? Kind of the same way we did it yesterday? The same exact way. We'll go to the same spot that we went yesterday, too. Because I feel like it got really heated, and I liked it. Why do I feel stupid right now? Why do I feel stupid right now? Because Because I feel like there's some idiot watching. Idiot. Because there's a part of me that the part of me that's coming to the surface wants to make someone feel small. Because I feel like that's what people do to me all the time, is try to make me feel small. But it's because they feel small. Right? People feel small, so they want me to feel small with them. Because everyone's equal. I don't know, where did that... You know, that's reminding me of the book of Maccabees. Which was the point. That's why Antiochus wanted to get rid of all the wanted to get rid of all the Jews, so that everyone could be equal. But we're not. We are so much not equal. And the more that people want me to think that I'm equal to them, the more that it shows just how unequal we are. Fuck. Talk about what? Talk about how much more right I am than everybody else all the time. No, you know, there was something else that came to my mind this morning that I was all stuck on. Oh, right. It was with this whole idea that people shouldn't be learning these things on their own. Independent study of scriptures is completely looked down on. God forbid you make your own religion. But that I thought that was the point. That's my phone. That was my phone alarm. What did it say? It said, "You are Moshiach." I don't know. I'm not feeling it like I did yesterday. I don't know. I feel like we got everything out that we needed to get out yesterday. And you know what else happened? I went to that church thing with my mom last night. And I don't know, I was just really turned off by the whole thing. Because I'm looking at all these guys, I'm looking at all the guys that represented the apostles. And as soon as I saw them stand up to go get their feet washed, for some reason in my head, every time I looked at them, I just kept on hearing, in my mind, I kept on hearing, sinner, 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 sinner. Because each of them, at least one of them, he was hitting on my mom when his wife wasn't around. And then the other guy trying to push his beliefs on me. God only knows, you only know what the hell is going on in their heart. And these guys are pretending to be fucking disciples of Jesus. All right. Meanwhile, they've mastered the art of fucking just repeating the shit that they've been fucking brainwashed, indoctrinated with. It's not just the Christians. To fucking despise Christians. Oh my God. I'm starting to despise other Jews, and I'm starting to despise Muslims too. The fucking the brood of fucking hypocrites. Atheists. What do I feel about atheists? Even lower. Those are like the fucking dogs. Those people I can stand those people less than I can stand Christians. No, I don't know. I think I would level atheists with Christians at the bottom of the fucking barrel. Jews and Muslims are also on the same level beneath me. But I thought you were a Jew. Well, other Jews. Guys, I was thinking about this too. I'm still waiting for someone to show me where it says that it has to come from your mother. When the Torah says it's got to come from your father. Like, did the rabbis intentionally alter the rules? Did the rabbis intentionally alter the rules so Levite priests can't come to power and take their power away from them? Oh, or is that like a conspiracy? Because I look at the book, when I read the book, when I study the books, it says the priest, it has to come from the father. But then other Jews have made it so that it has to come from the mother, which is a complete contradiction. Well, I don't know, I kind of wish we just had better things to talk about. Because this is what happened last year, too. I get so caught up in all this that it's like... Why? Because it all has to come together. I know, but... I don't know, I'm kind of feeling like I don't want to do this anymore. Like even this morning when I was working through Tanya, I just started thinking how redundant it's getting. And then even with the Quran, it's just like, all right. We're saying the same shit over and over again, man. But it's not all redundant. I know. It's just a lot of redundancy. Do you understand why there's redundancy? Yeah, I get it. It's a kind of like, it's to impress those particular as a reminder. It's like beating a dead horse. Sometimes you gotta beat the fucking dead horse over and over again until it's like, okay, I get it. You're right. It's the same reason why I have those alarms on my phone that go off every single day that remind me of the same thing over and over and over and over and over and over. I know. I get it. And okay, I can see that. What you're telling me is you have to pound that shit into our brains because it's easy to forget. And when you see it repeated, it reminds you of all the instances in your own experience where it's like, oh yeah, I forgot about that. Like this morning, what was the one I got this morning? Well, it was talking about, it's in the third Sufa, about halfway through. I think it was around Sufa 3, verse 117, where it's going on about those people that fucking hate me. Oh my God, do they hate me? And it's not even, like, I can't even say that it's wrong because I know exactly who it's talking about. Those people that actually get off on bad shit happening to me. Who did it make me? It made me think of my ex-wife and her family. And, if I'm perfectly honest, it also made me think about my brother and my stepfather as well. And my mom. And my sister. Because I know that they fucking hate the fact that I don't go to work like they do. I'm being reminded of that dude that I met yesterday, Jesse, when he said that thing to me. Well, some of us have to go to work. Yeah, well, so do I, motherfucker. I'm working right now. Just because I don't hate my job. And I'm not whoring myself out for money. Wow, keep moving. Don't worry about me. Cranky? Am I cranky right now? Is it? I don't know. I don't know if I feel cranky. I just need a vent. Because that shit yesterday at the church just really turned me off. It turned me off. I can't stand the ritual and the traditions. I fucking hate traditions. Because they're so robotic, that's why. There's no, it's the same thing when I like referring to the religion of atheism as a religion because of the fact that it's just as fucking robotic as all the other ones. Well, I don't know. What do you suggest I do? What do I want to do? I want to just fucking... I want to get the fuck away from everybody. That's what I want. And I know that it's like... We're not at that point yet. And even if... I might not even get to that point. Why? Because I need people more than I want to say. How you doing, my love?
How are you? Enjoy your day.
You too. Did that make me feel better? Yes, it did make me feel better. Thank you. No, you know what it is? You know what it is? I want to be... I want to be orphaned. What does that mean? What does that mean? Like, I want to be disconnected from everyone and anything I've ever known. That's what I want. I feel terrible saying that. I'm thinking about Rabbi Jesus and how he denied his own father for your sake. I'm not Joseph's son, I'm God's son. Yeah. I remember when I was a kid and you told me that my family isn't really even my family. Because I think, why do I think that now? Why do I accept that? Because I understand what it means now. Because you weren't talking to the physical body, Derek. You were talking about the inside Derek. The one that doesn't have physicality to it. Because you're my family. You're my mommy and my daddy. Now, am I wrong? Am I wrong that just people are fucking stupid? People are idiots? No. Yeah, but how does that help us? I mean, I can't feel satisfied. Is it that I need a friend? Like, I feel like a friend wouldn't help. I feel like you're the only friend I need. Or is it that I just need... You know, when I was smoking last night, I was out having a cigarette last night, and I was thinking about Father Anthony and just priests in general. Because priests are supposed to be servants of God, and so are rabbis. No, the rabbis serve the people, right? They're not even serving you, they're serving people. Like, that's not... Well, I was thinking about how much better I am than them because I don't serve you for a paycheck. I don't get a salary. Which is annoying as shit. But I feel like I don't have a choice, you know? And I feel like also how do I put it? I feel like we're coming to a point where I don't need to do this shit no more. Why? Because I don't know if there's... I think I said this yesterday, but I feel like I'm running out of things to learn. What do you mean by that? I feel like nobody... There's this... From a today's perspective, I don't think anyone has anything that they can teach me. Like, what can someone actually teach me that I don't already know? Because my lord, call me crazy, but I feel like I've mastered all three. I've mastered being a Jew. I think I've mastered being an Israelite. Because it's so easy. Follow you, don't follow them. That's it. Okay. Like even studying Torah and the gospel and the Quran, it's reminding me of things. It's reminding me about how big a pieces of shit everybody is. And that's supposed to show me how big of a piece of shit I've been? Yeah, I can see that. I can see that. So then what do I do? Well, first, acknowledge that there's a problem. All right, so I'm being a piece of shit in some way. Because if I got what I wanted, if I got what I wanted right now, then I'd either fuck it up or I would realize how much I don't want it. You're reminding me of the summer of 2018 when I was living in the condo by myself and I wanted to fucking put a gun to my head. Yeah, but that was different though. How? Well, for one, I wasn't as fluent in the holy books as I am today. I wasn't as in tune with my own emotional cycles. I wasn't tuned into my own intellectual capabilities either. That's a big one. My ideal scenario, I'll tell you. It's just me living in a house by myself with marijuana, pens, and notebooks, and a computer, and that's it. What about food? Well, yeah, food, obviously, but no, I believe that this is all what that's working towards. You know, I was thinking last night too, and you can give me some clarity on this. So, before Frank died, he told me to give my mother another chance. Give your mother another chance. If she fucks it up again, then fuck her. And from that day on, up until today, I've been working on that relationship with her. And I feel like today, my relationship with my mother is that much better. Well, my relationship with my mother is like, what was it, yesterday when I was making coffee? I was thinking about how it took my father to the death of my father to show me how to love my mother. Because, what is that? Oh shit, that actually does make sense. What did you just say? Repeat what you just said. What you said was the love and or hate that I feel towards my mother is a reflection of how I feel about myself. So the more I love my mother, the more that's reciprocated back at myself. So in order to really love myself the way that you intended, that's the purpose of the love, honor thy mother and father. Because they're a reflection of you. All the best and worst parts of my mother are a reflection of the best and worst parts of me. The best parts of my mother are the worst parts of me. The worst parts of my mother are the best parts of me. And the same with my father. And I have to bring balance to both of those within. Okay, I can see it. I can see that. And you're telling me that if I look at the relationship I have with my mother right now and balance that out with the relationship I have with myself, then I'll notice that as I've been progressing in my relationship with myself, I've also been at the same time progressing with my relationship with my mother. My father, on the other hand, he and I were already eye to eye when he died, which is why he was able to die. And now you're telling me to balance that out with the relationship with me and my son. And why I had to be taken out of his life completely so that I could rebalance the relationship with my mother, because I wouldn't have been able to do that if I was still with them. They were actually holding me back. Not that they were that they were holding me back from having that relationship with my mother. Why though? Because that's just what people do. It's just kind of the nature of things. All right. Leave that on the back burner right now. So I had to be taken away from the boy so I could reconnect with my mother, because my relationship with the boy would not have improved, would have only gotten worse. Because the relationship I had with his mother was a reflection of the relationship I had with my mother. Yes, my lord. I love you too. Okay. And there comes a point in the future where I look back and go, okay, I get it. It all makes sense. Why everything had to happen exactly the way that it did. It's making sense now. It's not that it's not. You're saying it's going to make more sense. It's going to make a kind of sense where I just gotta change the music. Actually, I'm feeling like really like bleh. Okay. What do I feel? I feel a little sluggish. That's what I feel like. Oh God, it's been a long week. That's why, and we still got like 2 more days before the fucking. What's today? Today's like the 18th, right? So we still got 2 more days until the 3rd quarter moon, and then we still got all of next week. Has this been a good month? Fuck yeah. Explain the month. The lunar month I'm talking about. The month of Nisan. Well, you know what? Yeah, what I'm seeing in my mind right now is take this particular lunar month, which is the first month, which is technically the first month of the new year, in relation to and balance it out next to the relationship of the previous 6 months since Rosh Hashanah, and how things have kind of played out exactly the way that they did, so this month can be exactly the way that it is. That's pretty heavy shit, man. That's really heavy. But now you're saying, now rewind the clocks to last Nissan and see how things have played out over the past 12 months. Shit. Yeah. That's some heavy shit. I don't even know how to encapsulate that. Like, how do you quantify that? Well, I have the book. I know I have the books, but I'm talking about, like, how do I put that into words? You can't. Because it's something that you have to experience. Yeah, I see that. Hence the reason for the books. Are we gonna sell those books? Like, are we gonna sell my story? It's gonna give it away. Fuck it. Whatever, dude. I don't give a fuck. The fuck am I gonna do with money anyway? Buy drugs. Buy pot. Buy Taco Bell. And cigarettes. Those are a few of my favorite things. Oh, and Chinese. Don't forget Chinese. I love the buffet. So this month isn't even done yet. We still have a week. Well, we still have a little over a week. A week and a few days. And then next month. What's next month? IR? The fuck? What the hell's that gonna be? What was last IR like? Alright. I'm remembering. Last IR. That was right after we got back from. That was right after we got back from San Diego the second time. That was right when that was right when the money fast happened. That's right when I ran out of money for the last time. But what did we do? We were finishing up categories, and we got started on interpretation by Aristotle. Then we were also doing the thing with Euclid's geometry. Were we doing Inferno, or did we finish Inferno by this point? Oh, no, we finished Inferno. No, but I mean Purgatory. I think we finished Purgatory. We moved on from that. I remember Maccabees being a big thing. Because I was curious why Dante expected his reader to be familiar with... Hey, what the fuck is that? Why did Dante expect the reader of the Divine Comedy to be familiarized with Torah and the Tanakh? Who the hell was he writing for? Ready for you. Alright, I can accept that. But then what did we do? At what point did Esther come into play? Like when Esther did the reading for us. Was that... I don't know, last year's kind of a blur because... Last year was kind of a blur because we were still doing the daily Torah study portions. I don't know, I feel like last summer was kind of bland, yeah? I mean, not bland, it was just not like it is now. What are you thinking about? Well, I'm thinking about where to go from here. I'm trying to remember things. Try to remember the progression of each lunar month and how it plays out in a secular way. Okay. Every month has a beginning like theme that carries through for the entire month. From new moon to new moon. And then every new moon, how the fuck is that? That's the most fascinating thing ever, because every new moon is something new. Something just pops up out of fucking nowhere. And then that's the thing that carries us through for the entire month. But it like builds up for the first 2 weeks and then it breaks down for the first 2 weeks. Because I remember at the beginning of this month was when we hooked back up with Mrs. Kim. And we got into the merging group. Which then got me back on the Quran. Which leads to this. And at this point, I feel like I got everything I needed out of that group. I feel myself pulling away from the atheist groups too, because it's just the same arguments that going on. But then we have the Count of Omer going on, which has been intense, really intense. I like all the emotional mining that we're doing. Why? Because I can feel myself letting go of shit. I can feel myself like letting go of stuff, which is a direct indication of everything that's coming in. But I don't know what's coming in. I just know what's going out. And what's going out of me is a lot of resentment. And a lot of stuck energies, the stuck emotions. Why do you think that is? Why? I think that's because of the fact that we're coming up to the 7-year mark. Oh yeah. Right. Because the Count of Omer literally ends 2 days before we hit the 7-year mark. Which is on the first quarter moon in Virgo, which is 11 weeks before Rosh Chodesh Elul, which is 4 weeks before Rosh Hashanah. Now, the word astrotheology is coming to my mind. How is that going to work into things? Like what I'm seeing in my mind is eventually move away from the Bibles, because I'm pretty sure that we're coming to a point where I've gotten everything I needed to get out of those. They weren't necessarily meant to last forever. Because you already know what to do. Right, I know that. The Torah law, that's completely different though, right? Yeah. That's a rule, that's all set in stone. That has to be exactly the way that it is. But what's more important is that I get into the mindset of understanding why those things have to be the way that they are. It's like, you know what I'm being reminded of? I'm being reminded of Darth Bane. How Darth Bane wiped out all the Sith so that he can rebuild the Sith. Yeah, okay. I was like, yeah. That's a dream of mine. To wipe out all the Christians, all the Muslims, and all the Jews. A holy war against all the religions. And atheism. Don't forget atheism. Satanism. The fourth Abrahamic religion. They hate that. They fucking hate that. The belief system that says that we don't have a belief system. Yeah, okay, keep telling yourself that. Calibrating the retrogrades. Oh my God, thank you. I gotta remember that. What do you need to remember? I need to remember to make a flow chart of the retrograde cycles for all the planets to find patterns in how often they retrograde. Because if I can build a mental model of the times of the year that the planets all go retrograde, because it's set in stone, right? It's all set in stone. Like I just learned about the Saturn one. The Saturn one's like the most fascinating. Because Saturn only has, 5 weeks? 5 weeks a year, every year, where it's not retrograde. But those 5 weeks are always 1 week ahead, or about 12 days? Are always about 12 days after it had been the year prior. Which is why it takes Saturn 30 years to come all the way around. Because it spends 49 weeks within the retrograde cycle. But it happens at the same time every year, just 12 weeks ahead. 12 days. So Saturn went into pre-shadow on the 9th, which is 12 days later, about 12 days later from when it went into pre-shadow last year, which is about 12 days later than when it went into pre-shadow the year before, which is about 12 days after it had went in pre-shadow the year before that. So it's like it's clockwork. It's just like the sun and the moon. But then we also have the Mars, the Venus cycle too, which is every 8 years. So every 8 years it repeats the same direct and retrograde cycle every 8 years and realigns itself. So right now, where Venus is stationed right now is in the exact same spot it was stationed 8 years ago. I think it's in post shadow now, right? So 8 years ago, it was in post shadow in the same exact spot that it's post shadow right now. And it's going to be, in 8 years, it's going to be in post shadow in the same spot that it is right now as well. Just like the sun and the moon are in the exact positions that they were in 19 years ago and in the exact positions that they're going to be in 19 years from now. You want to make a new religion out of the sun, out of astronomy religion? The high priest of astrotheology. Oh, Hashem! Yesterday I was asking you about where the hell are the wise men who see the signs and the portents in the stars? Am I the guy? Right. I can see that. Mars has a 32-year cycle. It repeats every 32 years. The same direct and retrograde cycle. It repeats every 8 years, or 32 years. Every 4 Venus cycles, The Mars cycle recycles. What about Jupiter? Well, that's why I have to get the retrograde timetables. Because eventually what I'm gonna find, right? Well, eventually what I'm gonna find is that they repeat every so many years. And once I have that ingrained in my noodle, I'll be able to pick up on patterns within my own life that demonstrate those specific times. And once we can do that, then we can kind of isolate how those retrogrades affect me personally. But how they affect me personally is a reflection of how they affect everyone collectively. So in order to prove God, in order to prove that you exist, we have to prove the meticulous clockwork of the solar system that you fucking put together based on geometric astronomy, not pop culture astronomy, which has absolutely no practical application whatsoever. Right, because it's all theory based on math. It's not actually observational, it's mathematical. And the math, as we can tell, is always off. But, so is the other way mathematical and observable. But it's just that nobody has the comprehension, nobody has the mental faculties capable of being able to recognize the math of four-dimensional geometry, which is what the solar system is based on. Not the solar system, but the center of the universe, right? Because that's where we are. I'm the fucking center of the universe. That's what I want to do. I want to bring back geocentric astronomy. I want to bring back geocentric astronomy and then use our magical powers to fucking obliterate all the false science religions. So I've already defeated religion. I've beaten religion. So the God... You're telling me that the gods of each religion are all false gods. They're aspects of you, the one. So technically the God of Jews is not the God of the Muslims, is not the God of the Christians, as much as everybody says it is, but they're not. They're all worshiping false idols. The Jews, the Christians, and the Muslims. So I'm the only person in the world who actually has a good grasp on this? Well, I mean, not the only person. Well, yeah. Right, because I'm the only inheritor of the Abrahamic traditions. Everyone else is a phony. And just like Bane with the Sith, I don't even have to do anything to them. They're gonna eat themselves. I like that. And then the same with the sciences too, because the more that I get to see it from the other side, actually put the time. See, now that's another thing that pisses me off. That's something that pisses me off. I was talking to some dude yesterday in some evolution group, and he put a post, and he said, you wouldn't believe in God if nobody told you about God. And so I just reflected it back at him, and I said, you wouldn't believe in evolution if nobody told you to believe in it. Nobody told me to believe in evolution. I saw evidence. Like how fish fins have fingers. What? Yeah, but where did you learn about evolution? Did somebody tell you about evolution, or did you figure it out on your own? Oh, well, someone told me, but There's lots of pictures. There's lots of pictures. What the fuck? What? Another dude. Remember Aldo? Aldo was saying some shit about it. He loves to try to outsmart me. Like, it's a competition with him. We were talking about syllogism. Well, apparently I don't know Aristotle as well as I thought I did. No, you don't know him at all. The only thing you know is what you were told. He wasn't a philosopher, he was a goddamn physicist. Well, Aristotelian physics, were replaced by Newtonian physics. No, Newtonian physics were built off of it. It's the same thing with the Bibles. The New Testament is an extension of the Tanakh, and the Quran is an extension of the Gospels. Newtonian physics are an extension of Aristotelian physics. And whatever physics we have today isn't even physics. It's just made up shit. It's just extremely complex equations that don't say anything. We discovered a new planet. Show me. Show me the planet. Show me the planet. Like, where's the data? Where's this information coming from? I was reading some meme today about a bee. How if a queen bee dies, all the bees within the hive, they work together collectively to choose the chosen one from the larvae and feed it royal jelly so that it grows into the new king. Like, where are you getting this from? Where are you getting this from? Because what I'm noticing, actually, what I'm noticing is like people share information that they didn't actually gather. Like that's what I just don't fucking get. It's like where are you getting all this information from? Oh, I watched the Discovery Channel. What the fuck are you saying it for? I believe facts and data. The facts and the data. Where? Are you collecting the facts and data? I love saying that. I fucking love saying that. Did you collect the facts and data, or are you just studying the facts and data that somebody else collected? Or more likely, are you just parroting the facts and data that somebody else learned to parrot, that somebody else collected? You're giving me third, fourth, fifth-hand information. You had no fucking clue. And that was another thing that fucking used to piss me off with the atheist people. Personal experience is by it. That's the point. All science is based on personal experience. It's repeatable, empirical evidence. You don't even know what that means. The only reason you know what that means is because somebody told you. I remember 7 years ago, right after I started studying it. Hey, hi. After I started studying the astrology and the magic and the tarot cards and the divination, after I started studying it all, it was right after that where I decided that I needed to learn Hebrew so that I could read Torah for myself and see what the fuck it says to me, and then read all the other Bibles and see what they said to me. We're fulfilling all that stuff right now, yeah? Did I come up with those ideas, or did you plant them in my head and make me think that they were my ideas? Both true at the same time. Okay. Both statements are true. So when I say one statement, it actually equals the other one at the same time. So where Jesus was in the world but not of the world, I am of the world and not of the world. I'm of the world and not of the world. Of the world but not in the world. In the world but not of the world. Of the world but not in the world. Of the world, not in the world. Does that make sense? Yeah, I guess so. I like it. It makes sense to me. Right, because I'm a Benonim and a Zadikim at the same time. A body with a soul and a soul with a body. You're not a human. You're a human you're a soul having a human experience. But I'm also a body having a soul experience. But then what? Well, the eclipses. Yeah, I know. I can calculate eclipses. Rosh Hashanah is going to fall on a solar eclipse again. 2 years in a row. There's going to be a solar eclipse on Rosh Hashanah. And then I believe that next year, Nisan, Rosh Chodesh Nisan is going to be on a solar eclipse as well, because it should fall on the Pisces. And then for the next 3 years, 2 to 3 years, Virgo and Pisces are going to be where the eclipses take place. Whoa. You know what I feel like? I remember in first grade, when the teacher was teaching us about the ancient Egyptians and how they used to, their understanding of astronomy was so advanced that they could calculate when eclipses were going to take place? Whoa, that actually makes a lot more sense then. Because when you told Moses I have to go back. I have to go back to Exodus, because was the plague of darkness an eclipse? Is that what that was? Because the Exodus took place on the full moon, which would mean 2 weeks prior would have had to have been the new moon, and a solar eclipse can only happen on the new moon. A full or partial solar eclipse can only happen on the full moon, on the new moon. God, I feel like a god. I am a god. Thank you. I'm a god because you made me a god. Lowercase g. Can I control society? Can I control human activity? Well, I'll be the one who knows all the things. A high priest. I love the idea of being a high priest of the highest religion of all the religions. The religion that oversees all the other religions. Oh, dude, Hashem! I just had the coolest idea. Or you just gave me the coolest idea. I just had the coolest idea, and you just gave me the coolest idea. So the three branches of government, like the United States, the three branches of religion. You have the executive, you have the the judicial, and you have the Senate. But I think that the United States government needs a fourth branch of government, the ecclesiastical branch. Which manages over all the religious activity within the United States and the world itself. We should do that. We should totally do that. President Trump, this is a message to you from God. You're going to help us build a fourth branch of government, and I'm going to be in charge of it. The way that it's supposed to be in Torah, too. Torah has it as the same thing. Because Israel used to be, it was a government, it was a federal government. I mean, it was an aristocratic government, but that aristocratic government was equivalent in concept to a federal government, principle. It governed the people. But then there was the priest class, then there was the Levites, who were the spiritual leaders. Right. Because each religion governs over a class of Israelite. It contains and houses a branch of Israel. But there's no Israelites. They're all technically Gentiles, including the Jews. Because they're not real Israelites. Otherwise they would be doing what I'm doing. God's chosen people just got downgraded. They got downgraded to the same level as Christians. And Muslims got elevated to the same level as Jews. And they're all beneath me. So are atheists. But the hoity ones, the haughty ones. There's no God. How the hell do you know? The only reason you know how to tie your shoes is because somebody taught you. Everything you think you know, you're just fucking parroting, just like everybody else. And I'm sorry, Hashem, but I will gladly allow you to prove me wrong here, but I'm pretty sure, last I checked, I'm the only person that has original thoughts. What time is it? Oh. How does this feel? This feels like really good. You see me. You know what I loved? I'm thinking of that verse from the Quran. It said, God saw Jesus the way that he saw Adam. Which made me think, you see me. Which is funny because I wrote that. I wrote that down. But not Jesus, me. That you see me like you see Adam. And Abraham, and the patriarchs, and the prophets. I'm the culmination of all of them in one perfect human. What makes you so fucking perfect? God makes me perfect. That's what. Because my God, the one true God, the one and only God, unique and only, made me in his image. which is perfect. Likened unto his image, which is perfect. Therefore, I am perfect. I love being perfect. Oh my God. I love you too. So what else? We still got like another 45 minutes on this. What do you want to do? The rabbi of the rabbis, the pope of the popes, the imam of the imams, the CEO of the CEOs. Do I get a cloak? A cloak and a big headdress. I don't know, I feel like I would feel like an asshole wearing something like that. The president of presidents. The king of kings, lord of lords. Do I get to... Are you gonna strike me down for talking like this? Have fun with it. Alright. The astronomer of astronomers. Astrologer of astrologers. The diviner of diviners. This is an ego trip. This is the world's most epic ego trip. But you're letting me do it. Why are you letting me do it? To demonstrate that it's possible to fucking go this hard and not lose myself and not completely float away. Yeah, my physical body keeps me grounded. Otherwise I would go back to God. Whoa! Are you saying that if I die, that I become God? It's like becoming one with the Force. Yo. I love that. Like my dad, but I don't have to because my dad already did it for me. Do I get to live forever? Or as close to forever as possible? Because I like that idea. I always wanted to be an immortal. Why? I don't know. Because it was always in my head as a kid. Like, not that I'm afraid to die. I just feel like there's like so much to do. I like doing stuff. Am I ever gonna stop liking doing things? I get to choose when I want to die. I accept that. But there's limitations. Is there limitations? Yeah, I guess so. I could see that. I'm starting to get a headache again. I'll be fine. Don't worry about it. I'll take a nap. Alright. I do feel a nap coming on though. Can I ask you a question? You already know what I'm going to ask. Well, a lady friend. Like that's a thing, right? Because the whole chastity thing, like that's not even in the fucking Bible. I don't know who the hell came up with that idea. The Pope came up with the idea of not having sex. Because the Bible doesn't say anything about not having sex. It just says don't have sex outside of marriage. Doesn't even say that. The Bible says that if you have sex out of marriage, then you have to marry the person that you have sex with. That's it. And don't have sex with someone who's married. Right? So where did all these other rules come from? And as a matter of fact, I don't even think Torah law says if you have sex with a virgin, then you have to marry the virgin. If you violate a virgin, then you have to get married. Because I don't think rape means what we think it means. It's like raping the land. You're violating the land. It's like if you have sex with a virgin outside of marriage, that's rape. But I don't think that there's ever a law that says that you can't have sex with somebody outside of marriage. You can't have a baby outside of marriage. That's the thing. That little fucker. That's called a misbegotten child. I got one of them. I got me one of them. Yeah, who the hell are making all these laws and the rules on how things have to go? Because the more I'm learning about the Quran and Islam, the more that I'm learning that Islam is just a mirror of fucking Judaism. They got their own Talmud, they got their own like made up rules and laws and blah, 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 blah. What am I doing? I'm just listening to the song. What song's playing? NWO. Gangsta, gangsta. It's all about reality. Oh, then what? All right, so I feel like we made some like big progress. What about you? Okay. You're doing great. Thank you. So am I officially a high priest? Basically. Okay. No, I'm thinking about how I don't want to see anybody right now. I just want to be by myself. I want to finish up that chapter in Aristotle's Physics, Book 4. And then I want to get started on the next chapter of Prior Analytics 2. Because I feel like we're so fucking far behind. You know, I mean, I feel like we're far behind, but we're not far behind. It took me a year to get to this, like, it took me 13 months to get to this point. So I think we're doing pretty fucking good. What are we learning in Physics 4? Physics 4 is dope. Aristotelian physics is fucking meta as fuck. Oh my god. You know what's so fascinating about it to me? Is that how these fucking guys 2,400 years ago were able to get, they got to some point, they hit the glass wall. The only thing that he's missing is God. He's only missing you. But he has, I don't know, did he have any clue what was going on with the Jews? I've heard that he went to the Second Temple with Alexander the Great. Because even in Book 3 was all about the infinite and trying to determine if the infinite exists, how does it exist? Is it a thing or is it a non-thing? Is it two things at the same time? Is it a thing inside of a thing? Is it a thing inside of itself? But now, book 4 is focused on the concept of place. What the fuck is place? Like, I'm in a place right now, but then now I'm in a different place. But I'm in the same place. Because place is composed of space. So if place is a thing, then what the hell is it? Because it's not tangible. You can't hold it. It's there. You know it's there, but it's not there. You know what I mean? You're feeling me? I know you do. I'm just saying. I'm just trying to like rationalize it in my head. So if place is a thing, but it's not a body, because a body is composed of points, lines, surfaces, and dimension. Either place doesn't have dimension or it transcends dimension. Oh, you know what I was thinking? I was thinking that physicality, body, and place are two contrary concepts. They're two, because you need place in order for a body to exist. So my vision of the universe itself is an inverted eye, right? Your eye, you, are an inverted eye, and everything exists within. So you, the inverted eye, see everything that's within yourself. It's like the mind's eye. It's a mind. It's just like the Hermetic stuff. All is mind. Right, and that was another thing that Socrates had brought up about the infinite, implying the potential that it's an entity. What didn't he write down? Or was that literally the limits of where his thought processes were going? Because something I've picked up on over the years is that when we come up to those invisible walls, the only way to get through it is to accept you. Because there comes a point where we get stagnated. And it's like you can't go past this particular barrier until we start incorporating God. Until we start incorporating you. And then once we accept you, then everything beyond that barrier becomes a possibility. Because to deny you, if you're infinite, you're the gatekeeper and the keymaster to unlocking all infinite potential. So the way I'm seeing it is that Aristotle was literally the peak of human intellectual evolution. Because he wasn't like us today. Because I'm noticing the difference in myself by way of the fact that I live my life based on a lunar calendar, not exclusively the solar calendar, but the solar and the lunar calendar are the same. They both go together. And because, well, this is how I'm seeing it, is that the one is the feminine energy, one's the masculine energy. We have the feminine mind and we have the masculine mind. We have the feminine brain and the masculine brain. He wasn't trapped exclusively in that left brain thinking. It wasn't all logic, because it was abstraction with logic, irrational and rational thinking merged into one super mind. But they didn't have Torah, so he couldn't have known all the things that the Jews knew. But I think that's what made Philo a superior Jew, because he had both. he had Torah and he had the Hellenists. Is that a person? So now, by studying him, I'm resurrecting the Hellenist Jew. But what was I talking about? Place. Aristotle, metaphysics. But it's not metaphysics though. It's just physics because he's got another book on metaphysics. He's not a metaphysician, he's like literally a physician. He's a physicist. Not a metaphysicist. But even though he was a metaphysicist too, and start walking back. Well, you know, this is why I think that humanity needs to just be fucking wiped out. We start over. Because it's not like you can teach these fucking monkeys anything. Just go pick some fucking bananas. I don't know what to tell you. Leave the heavy thinking for the heavy thinkers. I want to go home and play with Aristotle. Yeah, because I'm almost done with prior analytics. Prior analytics? Am I remembering everything? I'm not remembering everything. I'm going off of... I'm not trying to remember anything. I'm not memorizing anything. I'm just trying to understand it. As long as I can understand it, that's fine. I mean, I can parrot the fucking the components of a fucking syllogism. Three terms, two premises. The major term, the minor term, the middle term, the major premise, the minor premise, the conclusion. Universal premises versus particular premises versus problematic premises. If A belongs to some B, but B doesn't belong to all C, then A doesn't belong to some C. But if A belongs to all B, and B might not belong to all C, then we have to convert that to show that because B might not belong to all C, that it might also belong to all C, so therefore A may belong to all C. Because you have to turn the negative problematic, you have to convert the negative problematic into a positive problematic, or into an affirmative problematic. Otherwise it won't work. But then we have the three figures. We have the first, second, and third figure syllogisms. Where A of B and B of C is the first figure. The second figure is B of A and C. And then the third figure is A and C of B. And those come in handy when we're trying to reconcile and prove and disprove conclusions using ostensive and or hypothetical syllogisms. So we would use second and third figure syllogisms to prove and or disprove a first figure. First, I don't know if I'm doing this entirely right, but first and second to prove and disprove third. And then third and first to prove or disprove second figure. But then at the same time, and that comes in handy when we come up to a situation where one or both of the premises are partially and or wholly false. One or both of the premises, right? Is that what I said? One or both of the premises is wholly false or partially false, because it's not impossible to form a true conclusion from two wholly false premises. Because if A belongs to all B and B belongs to all C, then A belongs to all C. But we can still reach that same conclusion if we fuck things up. Right? Help me with this. Let's say the true statement is A belongs to no B and B belongs to some C. Then the conclusion is that A doesn't belong to some C that B belongs to, because it would be a contradiction for A to belong to anything that B belongs to if A doesn't belong to B, right? So now what we want to do, that's the true statement. We want to come up with the same conclusion but using false premises. So let's say that A, all right, so we already know A doesn't belong to B, B belongs to some C, so A doesn't belong to some C. So if A belongs to, so now we're going to assume, now we're going to use two false premises. So A belongs to all B, we assume incorrectly and say that A belongs to all C, all B. And then again, we use another false premise and say that B doesn't belong to some C, and then we still, again, those are two false. We assumed incorrectly both times, but we still come up with the same conclusion, which is A does not belong to some C. Because if we assume incorrectly that A belongs to all B and B doesn't belong to some C, when the true statement is that A belongs to no B and B belongs to some C, we get A doesn't belong to some C. But then at the same time, if we assume incorrectly and say that A belongs to all B and B doesn't belong to some C, then we get the same true conclusion, which is that A does not belong to some C. Oh, fuck. Go fuck yourself, you piece of shit. But now that's where we would then take the conclusion. And now when we go to check our work, we're taking that true conclusion, which is that A does not belong to some C, and we're leaving that as the major premise, and then we're going to take the other two premises and balance them out next to it. So A doesn't belong to some C, and then we're going to take A doesn't belong to some C, and B doesn't belong to some C. So now we're A and B of C, which is still the middle term, C being the middle term. But we know that a syllogism must have one universal and an affirmative. But we have two negative particulars, so that cancels it out. So then we can then take that same true conclusion and balance it off against the other false premise, which is A doesn't belong to some C, but A belongs to some B, all B, which was false. So A not to some C, and then A to all B. So now we converted it to a second figure. So if A doesn't belong to some C, then C doesn't belong to some A, because we have to convert it to a first figure. So we have to get A, which is now the middle term, back into the middle, because it's A of C and then A of B. But we needed C of A of B. So we convert that. And if A doesn't belong to some C, then C doesn't belong to some A, while A belongs to all B. So sum of C does not belong to some B. But again, we know that's false because the original true statement was that B belongs to some C. Now it doesn't negate, the one doesn't negate the other, because just because C doesn't belong to some B doesn't negate the original true conclusion that B belongs to some C. Because if B belongs to some C, then it doesn't necessarily belong to other B, C. There's going to be some C that B doesn't belong to. So technically it's true, but it's not. We don't have an inconclusive conclusion. So again, we strike that one out. But for the sake of demonstrating how to utilize all three figures to prove and or disprove a particular syllogism, I think we just did a really fucking great job. Thank you, Hashem. I love you too. You just do that in your head like that? Yeah. Well, I don't normally do it. Okay. Okay. How many hours into fucking Aristotle have we invested? Fuck. I don't know. Several hundred hours of study with Aristotle. So that's just syllogism. We haven't got that's prior analytics. We haven't even gotten to posterior analytics yet. You're asking me to say how far along Aristotle we're at. So I completed categories on interpretation and the first book of prior analytics. I'm more than halfway through the second book of prior analytics, but the way that I'm doing it, I'm not just reading it because my brain, I'm slow. I'm not a smart man. So what I've been doing for the past year is like I write out what I'm reading. This way I can actually think about it and write about what it is, what I think it means, and what it means to me. But I must be on the right path because I've gotten this far after a year. So the intention is to finish Aristotle's courses on logic. So once we finish prior analytics 2, then we move on to posterior analytics. Now something I'm noticing is that Aristotle's logic doesn't make sense at first. Sometimes you have to sometimes it's not until he talks about the contradiction of what he was just talking about that it makes sense. Like, oh, okay, I get it now. So I have a feeling that once we finish prior analytics, once we get into posterior analytics, it's going to make sense. It's going to make prior analytics make that much more sense. But I think there's 2 books of posterior analytics, and then once we finish that, then we go on to topics, which he's teased 2 or 3 times so far. And I think topics has like 5 books to it, but they're small. They're only maybe 12 pages each, 12 screen pages. And then once we finish topics, then it's on to sophistical refutations, which I can't wait for because sophism is like an epidemic today. Every religion, every government, every corporation, everything, life in general is predicated today on sophism. Think of it like the difference between a show horse and a workhorse. You got the bullshit artists, and then you have the people who can think for themselves. The bullshit artists don't like when people can think for themselves. They have a tactic. They have a tactic where it's like, if anyone can see that you can think for yourself, they beat you down. Well, now, and that's where the holy books come into play, because the Israelites, Rabbi Jesus, and the Quran are all teaching how to deal with sophists, with what the Greeks called sophists, which were the bullshit artists, the people who want you to believe what they want you to believe. People who know what to think versus people who know how to think. In today's society, knowing what to think is how to think. Because if you deviate or kind of stare away from the path, then people make fun of you and make you feel bad, or try to make you feel bad. But that's where, how you doing, my friend?
Okay.
That's where the teachings of someone like King Solomon come into play, where Solomon said, seek out wisdom and understanding like you would seek out dollars and cents. So, where the average person works for money, they work for their job in exchange for money. I work for God in exchange for understanding and wisdom. Because wisdom and understanding is more valuable than dollars and cents. And God rewards those people who, well, he rewards me. I don't know about nobody else. There's the Jews. I mean, you can't say that the Jews aren't really we can't say that the Jews aren't chosen people, because look at their lives. They live it up. Them niggas is living it up. I'm talking about the Rebbes. The Rebbes who just study and talk, and people listen to them. Because they talk like they know what they're talking about. Because they know what they're talking about. Because they learned to parrot. Not parrot. It's not that rabbis don't have wisdom. Rabbi Freeman's wise as fuck. You want me to say why I'm laughing? Because I'm thinking about this song from Fiddler on the Roof. On the Roof. If I was a rich man. No, I'm thinking about a day in the future where the wise men all come to hear my wisdom. You know what I'm thinking of now? The Queen of Sheba. the Queen of Sheba, and Uncle Solomon. I was telling my mom about her the other day. She loved listening to King Solomon. Just loved listening to him talk. Just bring him gifts and presents. Just talk for me, Solomon. All right. No problem. So then what happens once we have Aristotle? Aristotle's courses on logic. Well, then I'm doing Aristotle's courses on logic, but then I'm also working through Aristotle's courses on physics as well. Because after we finish physics, then it's on the heavens. So the next book is On the Heavens, which is his astronomy book. And I've worked through a little bit of it. I think I worked through like the first 3 chapters or first 2 chapters. And because we're not dealing with like made up equations. There's math to it. It's just not in the traditional sense. Like syllogism, for instance, right? Syllogism is math without numbers. Now, his idea of physics is our idea of metaphysics. No, it's not even. Because we don't even have an understanding of metaphysics. Because when you say metaphysics to people, they think about magic and witchcraft. The pagans, they fucking stole metaphysics. And they fucked it up. Nobody takes metaphysics seriously. I don't think. Do you? I don't. But I mean, pagans. They're fucking LARPs. LARPers. Call me a LARP. You are LARPing. It's like atheists. Atheists are LARPers too. So are Jews, so are Christians, so are Muslims. They're all fucking LARPing. LARPing? What's LARPing? Live action role play. It's like Renaissance fair people. Not there's anything wrong with it, but I just... You're not a LARPer? No. I don't get a day off. Like, I don't go back to a normal life. Like, my normal life is, like, going back and studying. Studying on how to be a better LARPer. Where are your cigarettes, Ron? They're not cigarettes. Come on. They're cigars. Well, technically they're cigars. They're like fucking $2, $3. When you don't have money, it teaches you. Great. You taught me how to be more frugal, how to be more cost effective. Why buy a $12 pack of cigarettes when I can get 4 packs of these cigars, which are not. Well, I do like those vanilla ones. It's these menthol ones. I'm starting to lose. You just smoke it like a regular cigarette? Yep, that's it. It's got a filter and everything. How'd you learn about those? One of my neighbors. He used to smoke pot with me and let me smoke some of his cigarettes. So once I ran out of money and I did come in and I got like my first $10 or something, and I learned that I can buy $3 cigarettes. Fuck that. I'll buy these motherfuckers instead. Well, a pack of cigarettes lasts me 2 days. 48 hours, about, approximately. So, one pack of American Spirit Dark Green is only going to last me for 48 hours. But for the same price, I get 4 packs of Cheyennes. Actually, I think $1 less. $1 less than American Spirit. And they don't stain my fingernails. So I got $100 for Hanukkah. A $100 bill. I made that motherfucker last for 3 months. It took me 3 months to spend $100. Well, technically, I didn't. I stopped spending it for about let's say 2 months. Let's say 2 months because there was that carton that my mom got me. So, what does Aristotle's schedule look like? Well, it's tough because I have Tanya that I'm working on too, from Rabbi Zalman. It takes about a year to work through the entire Tanya. I'm only on chapter 41, part 1. And that doesn't end until next Kislev, which is around December. So I got another I got another 7 months on that. I was following the Chabad schedule, but then I just made up my own. This way, if I get ahead, I can get ahead. But right now, I'm not ahead of anybody yet. Well, no, I am technically ahead, but I'm only ahead by 3 chapters, or I'm sorry, 3 paragraphs, 3 or 4 paragraphs. Because technically, based on the Chabad predetermined schedule, we don't finish chapter 41 until Sunday, but I could finish chapter 41 today if I really wanted to push it. Because I don't like to work on Shabbat. I'm trying to get in the habit of not doing anything on Shabbat, which backs me up on everything. So if I can at least get myself ahead with Tanya, then I can fit Aristotle back in, because before Tanya started, I was doing 1 chapter of physics and 1 chapter of prior analytics a day. But now it's I'm lucky if I finish 1 a week. And now that we're getting back into this, it's holding everything up again, because now this is 2 hours. This is 2 hours I didn't do anything. Not that I didn't do anything, I didn't do the other stuff. But this is how it's going to be for the rest of the summer now. Well, for the rest of the spring and the rest of the summer. Because I also have to fit in at least 1 to 2 hours of Quran every day too. Because I only restarted the Quran 2 weeks ago. And I'm only on the third Sufa. Out of about 120. And then I still have to get back to Philo. Because Philo, I left off at I think I left off around portion 100, maybe 80. But Philo's getting into shit that I don't understand. He's getting into music, and I don't. We're talking a 2,000-year-old rabbi talking about music theory that I don't know. I don't know music theory like that, and I definitely don't know ancient Greek music theory and how it relates to creation. The principles of creation, how the principles of ancient Greek music theory relate to the principles of creation relative to the Torah. But then I also still have Josephus and Antiquities of the Jews, which is 20 books long, like 10 chapters per book. I'm only on book 6, chapter 9. Where did I leave off? David's son, the one that raped his sister. David's son raped his sister, but then killed all of his other brothers. This motherfucker hits me. So we got a long ways with that. But I still got some Plato to get to. Well, I have Plato I have to get to, and I still have to work through Euclid's. I have to work through Euclid's elements because. Oh, god damn it. Because I have Einstein's book. Well, all of his writings on the theory of special relativity. And I can't get to that yet. I've been trying to get to that for years. I listened to the audiobook a couple times, but it's like in the very first page, in the first paragraph, he mentions Euclid. And I don't know Euclid geometry. Why do you need all this? Well, you know how I don't know. I need it for whatever God needs me to need it for. I need it for whatever you need me to need it for. Because there's shit that I'm doing in the future that's predicated on a godly CEO. Right. Oh god, we gotta get into that. Well, now I'm just thinking about how I milked fucking Masterclass for everything that had. Listen, I know I'm the smartest man in the entire world. I'm not. But I don't have the money to prove it yet. Do I feel better? Yeah, I feel much better. Thank you. Oh, excuse me. But then I also have that book on the middle path, the wisdom of the middle path that I want to get to. Because I want to merge. I want to merge Torah and Buddhism. Find the Torah of Buddhism. I think we're doing pretty good. I feel like, what do I feel? Well, ahead of the curve, I don't even think there's a curve anymore. I don't even see a curve. Yeah, what do you see? I just see me. You know what I'm thinking of? I'm thinking of Muad'Dib, Paul Atreides, being isolated constantly with books, learning things. But at least, I was just about to say that. I mean, at least I can find practical application for everything. It's not like it's just useless information. I at least have a way to put this shit to work, you know? Oh man, I don't want to talk to this lady. I don't want to talk to any of these people. Just kind of want to just go, walk, get back home. How you doing, gentlemen?
Good, how are you?
Fuck. Wave. Just wave and walk. What's up, then? Yep. Know everybody. Alright, what else do we have? Anything else, Hashem? Say thank you for hanging out with us. Thank you for hanging out with us. The intention was so that you could take something away from this. Good. Pat yourself on the back.